And we're back. Week number 8. Radio Rec LLC, True School Hip Hop since 2009 by me, Uni V Soul. I can't believe that we made it to week number 8. And what is Radio Rec LLC, True School Hip Hop since 2009 about? This is a segment that I made that is, asking you the big question. Do you really want this life? Do you really want this independent recording artist life? Right? My name is Uni V Soul, and I've been a independent recording artist for over 2 decades, but I haven't made a full-time living I've only been making a full-time living for the last 7 years. So there was a lot of years in flux trying to figure it out, working jobs, trying to support my family. And so what I did is I capsulized all, I wrote down 25 rules that I wish that I had when I first got started, right? And so, we ran through the rules. The first week, I got the rule in 96. Rule number 1, never ever get drunk before or during your recording session. Then we went to rule number 2, which I got in 97. Everyone's ambition isn't the same, accept it. Then we went on to rule number 3, which was experiment to find your sound, which I got in 98. Right? And then rule number 4, which I got 99. If you think you got what it takes, you need to invest in yourself and trust the process. Then we went on to rule number 5, 2000, write, record, publish, you need feedback. Then we took it to rule number 6 in 01, dream big, keep your head in the sky and both feet on the ground. Then last week we were on rule number 7, 2002, perform. And now we're on rule number 8, 2003. No audience, find one. And this is a building block from the last one, but the building block from the last one is from the last one is from the last one. Remember, all these 25 rules is to help you stay engaged as an independent artist so you don't lose the faith. You don't lose the momentum. Everything will be all right. I'm speaking to the younger me or the younger version of myself. Right? I'm speaking out to you if you're starting it. And now you have way more tools than I ever had. Right? And, people are going to tell you certain things along the way. And so you will get distracted. And especially if you're chasing the industry. If you're chasing the industry, you're going to get lost in the sauce. So I'm hoping to give you these rules so you can maintain with or without the industry. Right? You can maintain as an independent recording artist, right? So now let me go into this rule number 8, which I learned in 03 about no audience, find one. Remember how I told you I was going out with the CD I made, right? And I'm rapping for people in the streets, in the park, showing up to showing up to open mics and performances. Wherever I gotta go, I'm performing. And that goes hand in hand with finding your audience. Now, why would I go out everywhere to perform? Well, again, I'm trying to find my audience. I made a product and I want to see who will get down with it. So for me, during that time, finding my audience looked like, well, I know I make underground hip hop, right? At that time, or independent hip hop. So I went wherever the hip hop was at. Right? Wherever hip hop was at, I was there. Right? So, trying to find my audience. But that's only one side of it. You can kind of, you could kind of say, hey, wherever hip hop is at, I'm going to go there. But you're dealing with a big world and people that have different things going on. I guess they like different things. It's crazy. I'm saying this now because, back then it was like, oh, you had to stick to this one thing or whatever like that. And now we live in like an iPod era where, people's tastes go all across the board. So I guess you can technically find your audience wherever. But the thing is to find your audience, find the taste. And the easiest way to do it is kind of going in the same direction of what you're making, right? You wouldn't necessarily, if you do hip hop, just show up to a rodeo or a place where they're playing country music and try to get your thing off. Because the chances are, even if they do kind of like hip hop, unless you're giving it in a way that they can digest it. Like how Lil Nas X trying to put the country together with the hip hop. Unless you're doing that, and they probably still won't mess with it. You know what I'm saying? So the thing is that you have to be very. I think you want to be You want to be broad but specific when you're trying to find your audience. I want to say you want to be broad, like in the sense of having broad in the. Not, I guess that's the wrong term. Have an open mind. Don't go around just like looking at people and judging them and say, "Hey, you'll probably like hip hop." I mean, keep an open mind on that, but also be specific. Go to where your audience is at. And I know I'm talking a lot just in hip hop in general because that's where I came out of. But you can kind of apply the same thing to business. You can apply the same thing in business. Like if you were a baker and you made the best bread and but nobody knew, then you're not really making the best bread. So you like for a baker that's making the best bread, you have to find the audience for that. Who wants the bread? You know what I'm saying? Everybody wants the bread. You know what I'm saying? But no, for real. You know, and before, like I said, I had to run around and make flyers, posters, go to radio stations, just go all around, man, to find my audience, to find who would mess with what I was putting out. Now it's a little bit different, right? You can go on places like IG and Facebook and TikTok and all the different things, Snapchat. You can go to find your audience. But the thing is, and when I'm saying this, I mean this should be a very short episode because you know what you need to do already. And so it's kind of mind-boggling to me, when you have somebody that's an artist or producer or something like that, and then they just kind of just upload and hope something's gonna happen. I'm on the platform like everybody else is on the platform, but you know what I'm saying? You really gotta you got to kind of zoom in. You got to kind of focus to find your audience, right? So you just can't, upload, hope, and pray. A good place to find an audience is go to like marketplaces. There's a lot of marketplaces that are on social media now. Not even social media, on the internet for a variety of things, for independent artists, for songwriters, for producers, for entrepreneurs, for freelancers. There's a marketplace for dang near anything that you're trying to do right now, and which is a good place to find an audience because now you have an audience that is like there for something specific, and then you can get your stuff in front of them. But you have to find an audience to build a thing, to build a business. Your family, I see this weird thing, especially with MLMs, where they right away they try to get you to go to your family and friends, sell to your family and friends. That's not a business. That's not a business, man. That's taking advantage of your family and friends to build your business, but that's not a business model. Not at all. You need to find your own audience because selling to your family and friends ain't the move. It's not. It's like maybe in the beginning when you're starting out, your family and friends are, maybe they'll look out and help you out, but you can't build something off of their back. It's just not right. You're building something to bring value to your family. You know what I'm saying? And friends. So you need to find your audience. Never mind that MLM mindset. That's you taking advantage to try to profit. And that's them taking advantage of you trying to take advantage of your family. So that's not the move. If you're building a business, if you're an independent artist, producer, I don't care what you are, you need to find your audience. So after you make that something great, where are you going to take it? And then when you go to wherever you're going with it and you're not getting any traction, you have to kind of look. You got to kind of look at, am I giving people what they're looking for? Or is my product just not good enough if you're not getting any traction? So you might have to bring it back and figure it out or take it to another spot, right? What works for one person might not work for if IG is working for one person or Facebook is working, it might not work for you. So keep yourself open to moving around to find your audience, but be very specific to who you're trying to find, right? And another example, like if you make music and you want ladies at your show, but everything is F these, what I'm saying? And you're just making raw, you might not be able to get that audience that you're looking for. You might get an audience, but not the audience that you're expecting. So if you're trying to reach to certain people, you're going to have to cater your message and your service or your product or whatever you're trying to put out towards them. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how you got, it's like, I know in an idealistic world, and when you're younger, you're going to waste a lot of time like this. And this is why I'm giving it to you. Like you want to make what you want to make, you want to do what you want to do, and you're expecting the world is just going to fall at your feet. And it just doesn't work like that. And if it does for some, right? You know, there's a machine and it feels like it does like that, but it doesn't. It doesn't. In reality, it doesn't. You have to have something that people really, really want to deal with. That's the bottom line. Is it really, really good? Does it really, really move me? Do I really, really need it? You know what I'm saying? And those are the questions that you want to ask yourself. And those questions will help you to find your audience so that you're not spending years and years and years just making shit and putting stuff up and like, oh man, I'm not getting anywhere. I see it so happen so many times. Remember, I've been doing this over 2 decades. And there was a lot of people that I started with when I was younger that are no longer doing things. And then over time they just got washed out. And it's sad to see, and you know, to see that happen because they're so passionate about their craft, their art, and what they're doing. But it's like the focus was off because they were looking for somebody to save them. They were looking for somebody to save them. They thought that because that they were so great, so talented, and they had it going on, that the limo was going to pull up to them, the contract was going to come out, millions of dollars, it was going to fall out the sky, and the world was going to be set. But at the bottom line, this is a business. Remember when I told you, I think I said it in one of my social media clips, it's like, yo, you're supposed to be dope. Whatever you're making is supposed to be dope. You know, like Michelin tires, they're supposed to be really good. Imagine you can't just throw some tires together, put them on a car. Yo, people will be running off the road. They would be out of business. So that's step one. Whatever business that you're in, it's supposed to be amazing. What's going to separate you from the rest of the pack? It has to be amazing, right? So you have to make an exceptional product. So if you're not gaining traction, look at your product or service, look at yourself, make sure that you're making the best and be for real with yourself. Don't be delusional, fam. Don't be delusional when it comes to your product or service. If you're making things that are not moving, yo, you have to look at that and see how you can fix it. Because it can be fixed if you want to fix it. If you're like, oh, everybody's crazy, they don't know what they're talking about, then, you know, you might end up getting stuck for years and years and years and years, and you might end up quitting. And I don't want to see you quit. I don't want to see you quit. It bothers me when I hear somebody say, hey, yeah, I stopped doing this, because life is going to happen regardless. No, what happened is that you didn't have a plan. You weren't looking for your audience and you got frustrated. You got frustrated because you wasn't seeing movement. But you weren't seeing movement because you weren't focused on finding the audience. This is a business, fam. It's a business. And in any business, you have to do market research. Part of your market research is finding your audience. Now, another way that you can do it, I see Amazon sellers talk about this a lot too. You go in there and you find out what people need, then you cook up. Whoa, people need this and that, I'm going to cook up this way. You know, you could do it that way too. But if you're like, hey, I'm an artist and I want to make what I want to make, well, guess what? Once you make what you want to make, now you have to find an audience for that. That's a little tougher. It can be done, but it's a little tougher. And you got to be really, really good. Haha, that's the catch. But that's, you want to be really, really good. And I'm sure you already think that you're really, really good. But be realistic with yourself because there's always room for improvement, right? So if you're making your art and stuff like that, now you have to find a spot for it. And I give you another example. My stepdaughter, my oldest daughter, right? She's an animator. She draws. And I think this is amazing. There's a platform just for her. She used to tell me about all the time. Deviant Art, right? You ever heard of that? But it's for people that want what she's offering, right? And, she can go to somewhere else and follow what everybody else is doing. Oh, hey, you need to be on this platform, that platform, that platform. And, but she found an audience at Deviant Art. And that, you know what I'm saying? So when she found her audience, then she's working with her audience. Now, that's not to say that she can't find other people, but she found a place that can sustain her, that people want what she was offering. So that's an example of, and I like to use her for her situation as example because I feel like she's doing amazing things and she picked it up at an early age. And so I find it sometimes I find it strange. I'll get older folks coming to talk to me and they really don't have, meanwhile, this young child who's not a child anymore. She's a woman now, but she's been doing it since a young child. And I find it amazing that she knew where to go to find her audience. She knew what she was offering. See what I'm saying? So it's like that's what happens when you find your audience. When you find your audience, now you can grow. But if you're just shooting in the dark, that's all you're doing. You may or may not hit something. But the thing is, even if you hit something, it might not even be your target. So this is the importance of knowing where you want to go. And if you have from zero, if you have zero and you need to build some traction, you need to find your audience, right? You need to find your audience. So that means make your thing really, really dope and then focus. Be open to all the internet, because the internet is vast, big ocean of possibilities. So be open to the big ocean of possibilities, but be specific into who you're trying to talk to. You can't make everything for everybody. It ain't gonna work. There's no such thing. Well, love is for everybody, but love don't cost a thing, right? So that's all. I'm gonna leave it at that. This should be a short one, but you gotta find your audience. Rule number 8, no audience, find one. However you gotta do it. Put your product together and get out there. Go on social media, go out in public, go back to the regular thing, get out in them streets too, work them all together until you find them. Build a fan a day. It's a slow process, man. Maybe you'll catch some wins where it's more, you know what I'm saying? But it is a grind. It is a grind it out, and it is a business. So, you know what I'm saying? And if you take it for anything else, then you'll find yourself being frustrated, man. And you'll find yourself constantly being taken advantage of all these folks that are kind of in the know because they know how the business runs. And they're looking for people that are clueless. And that's why I urge you to find your audience. Find your audience that loves what you do, that wants to pay for what you do, and everything else you'll be able to continue to grow and build as an artist, an entrepreneur, a business person, whatever you're trying to do. But if you have no audience, you need to find one. I'll talk to you later. Peace. Radio.